Many of the people in the Mahoning County Jail got there through some connection with heroin.
And sometimes it's easy to write off people addicted to the drug as criminals. But tonight, 27 Investigates reporter Amanda Smith sits down with an addict to learn about the struggle firsthand.
Dave and Erica, this story starts with a letter. This letter, in fact. When this letter arrived from the Mahoning County Jail, I had no idea it would lead to a truly heartbreaking story.
I get lots of mail here in the newsroom, but this letter was different. Kevin Smith didn't want me to know that he was innocent. Instead, he wrote he wanted to talk about just how much of a problem heroin is in the Mahoning Valley. I met with him in the Mahoning County Jail.
And if I can help other people to get help, you know what I mean, instead of going down the same path that I've gone, like, I really want to do that.
Kevin abused drugs for more than 5 years. He lost his job. He lost relationships. He lost hope.
I thought I had enough before, and every time I've relapsed, it's gotten 1,000 times worse, and eventually it's going to end up in my death.
He says his parents had nothing to do with his addiction.
It's not their fault. I have to make clear to them all the time, like, this was not your fault. I made these decisions, these choices. You did the best you could for me.
I met with his father, Michael Smith. He told me Kevin showed promise as an art student.
He was a top art student at Niles McKinley. He was a kid that everybody looked up to. He was a musician, phenomenal musician.
That's why the family sent him to art school in Los Angeles. But that's also where he found hard drugs.
Once I got to the point of actually shooting heroin, it's a whole different animal. It's not even, there's no fun when I'm doing that.
His family watched him spiral into a cycle of theft, prison time, and destruction.
I laid in bed many a night and worrying about if you're going to get that phone call, you know. Hey, your son's been picked up, or could you come down to the morgue and listen to his mother sob many a night.
Kevin has been clean now about 7 months since he was picked up on burglary charges. He's pled guilty and is awaiting his sentence. He says he's tried to be sober before with the help of a community service.
They actually helped me go through a detox, but then right after that I was dropped off in a homeless shelter. I mean, it's like there was no long-term care provided.
Michael says that long-term care is necessary to get addicts like his son past detox and on to sober living. He says his son will be best off serving his prison sentence and then finding a new life.
People want to label them as, you know, bad people and that. It's a disease. And it's a disease, and people need to be aware of how bad it's an epidemic in this area.
In the next hour, Kevin and Michael Smith will talk about their struggles as a family and what they hope the future will hold.
We saw Michael get emotional over his son. Talk about a little bit the toll that this has taken on them.
You know, Michael says that this tore his family apart, and eventually they had to throw their son out of the house. So his parents are divorced. He was living with his mother. They said they had to learn the difference between supporting their son and enabling his addiction.
Most of us may not even know a heroin addict or their family. What would Michael say to those if you find you have a heroin addict in your family?
With any addiction, they say, don't stop loving that person. You know, you have to show them support, but at the same time, don't enable their habit. And there are organizations that can help with that.
All right, Amanda, thanks. We'll look forward to your report at 6 o'clock.